Hello and welcome back for more Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. I'm Decepticon Rampage, and here we are exploring this all-new world. It's a whole new world. And anyway, what was I going on about when we left off? Oh yeah, I was talking about like games and taking risks with the what do you call it? With your games and being able to be willing to take those risks by making a game that may not be what your standard issue game would be, but at the same time still making sure that you respect those older the older ones in the series, what your core game would be. Some people may see that's too formulaic and it gets boring, which is the I brought up last time, like the new Super Mario Brothers series. That's classic 2D Mario, and honestly, I love those games. I mean, I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people don't give them credit where credit's due, because they'll be like, oh, well, it's just the same thing, there's nothing different about it. But that's the whole point, is those games aren't supposed to be all new. It might be, the title of the game might be New Super Mario Brothers, but at the same time, it's just a newer version of those previous games. And I mean, granted, yeah, there are some of them that do some really cool stuff with what they've got. There was some really cool imagery. They did like the Starry Night stage, and I think it was what one was it? It was New Super Mario Brothers Wii, or no, New Super Mario Brothers U, and that was cool. I thought that was a really awesome setup. But and it would be nice to see more of that kind of stuff in some of these games sometimes. But at the same time, those are put out because those are safe. Nintendo always knows when they put out one of those, it's going to be something that people will buy, and it's fine. It's more of that classic Mario Brothers look and feel and all that kind of and that sort of thing. So it's definitely not a bad thing to have those games. I mean, I'm not saying that, but that's the whole thing, is they don't just put out those games. They have all kinds of other ones, and I mentioned as well the how amazing was New Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario 3D World. That game was fantastic. And it's because they did. It's because they put out the new Super Mario Brothers U.
Simply go to a weapons vendor and select the
and
weapons option
as a launch title, and then put that one out. What was it, a year later? Because it gave them more time to actually work on that. That way, but they still had a Mario game available. If it wasn't available at launch, it was in the launch window. I'm pretty sure it was a launch title, though, from what I recall. But I mean, yeah, and some people might say, oh, well, they should have had the 3D world done, in time for the launch. It's like, well, in a perfect world, yes, that would have been the way to do it. But, we don't live in a perfect world. Sometimes these things get delayed. It's a perfect example of, hey, I would much rather see them go ahead and put out the game when it's ready. That's the crucial thing that we're running into with all of these franchise games that have been coming out, and they're not ready. They're not done. And that's this critical problem that we're facing right now. I mean, look at how many games came out in the last quarter of 2014 that did not work. And you know what? And how many of those were Nintendo games? Absolutely none of them. Because Nintendo, for any faults that they may have had as of late with some of their practices and whatnot, and I will say I'm not popular enough on YouTube to be somebody that's affected by their creators program. I was going to do it, but I was like, I don't have enough Nintendo content on my channel as it is now. I do have some, but it's definitely a far cry from like everything. But at the same time, there's a lot of Let's Players out there that are very popular that it does affect them. And while I will say I don't agree that that's the best way that they could have gone about that, at the same time, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Again, it doesn't affect me that much, but at the same time, I mean, I can understand where people are coming from. But you know what? I would say, hey, you know what? Deal with it now. If you don't want to play those games because you're not going to get anything out of it, well, hey, you can take your smaller slice of the pie and complain about it, or just not worry about it. Who knows? They've changed the policy as it is now. I mean, to the fact that they're getting to that point, you have to recall that Nintendo is kind of they're a company that's been around for a long, long time, and are not really known for good evolving with the times all that well. And I mean, that's not really an excuse, but at the same time, you got to kind of understand that that's where they're coming from. Is they are very much, the an older company, and it's difficult for them because they don't realize that they really should be changing with the times and whatnot. But again, I'm not gonna get into a huge amount of detail on that and whatnot. But I mean, it's kind of been on a lot of people's minds and in discussions and whatnot. But at the same time, again, I kind of got off on a tangent there. But oh no, I was gonna say, hey, it's a cutscene. But no, hey, look, it's not just a swamp planet. Okay. Wait, where was I going with this?
Attention, citizens.
I think it was mainly just
The Imperial Defense Force reports
that
Lombax
it's not something that
is star
needs.
the Empire
Well,
exposure
I don't know.
operation in
I've kind of, like I said, I got off on a major tangent there, and I just I'm not even sure where I was going with that. Okay. But anyway, yeah, it was bad on my part. But oh no, there was an explosive there. But anyway, I think it was back to the taking risks thing. Like I said, I was going to go off on even for all the faults that the faults and missteps that they've had as of late, there's still somebody that we trust as a company because hey, they make awesome games. They've always made awesome games. They'll continue to make awesome games. And that's pretty much the thing, and they know what they're doing. Let's put it that way.
Today is Tachyon Appreciation. You must show your devotion to our
And I feel like it's best that we just kind of trust in what they're doing, and feel free to make your voice heard, but at the same time keep in mind that there's a good chance that things will change. I think I was going off on the fact that, well, here, let me let this cutscene play out, and I'll get back to that. I'll reorganize my thoughts.
Unfairly hunted and persecuted wherever we go. It seems the Imperials have shut down the planet's gelatonium plant. They must be, looking for someone.
Well, we're kind of stranded ourselves. Our ship crashed back there and...
Aw, come now, sell their kidneys. Stranded, hmm? Well, I'll tell you what, pal, we're gonna make you a deal. You get the gel pumps working and we'll, procure a vessel for you. Here, you'll need this gelinator.
Alright, well, okay, anyway, so in terms of, yeah, the Nintendo thing like I was talking about. Oh, whoa. Okay, yeah, whatever. What do you have? Oh, yeah, these are the... Sure, we'll buy one of those and one of those. How about that? Those are... what do you call it? They're expendable weapons. Yeah, a little bit different from the norm that you see most of the time. Can I make it over here? Yeah. Oh, no, I did not. I did not make it. Okay, I thought I thought that was grabbable. Anyway, so what I was basically getting at here is
Attention, citizens of Cabal.
that they already changed their they already backtracked on their policy once, because originally, if you recall, none of the Nintendo revenue, you couldn't get revenue for any of it there for a while, and it was something that, hey, if you wanted to put the content up, you were kind of under the assumption that, hey, you weren't going to get... Why can't I grab on there? That should be grabbable. I don't understand why it's not grabbable. I'm going to try one more time. I think I'm going to call it an episode at that point, but but there's a good chance that I think that they're learning, they're trying to do something with this, and again, like I said, they are an older company, and you have to keep in mind that they don't really have anybody that's I cannot grab on there. I don't understand why. But anyway, I'm getting off on all these tangents, and basically what I'm saying is, I would say stay the course at this point. Just if you make content, go ahead and make the content. I would say still support them. Show them that there's something to be had in that program that they've created. Again, you may not agree with it, but it's basically what we can get at this point. And they will likely wise up here at some point. But I would say that's a good chance that will be the case. But anyway, I'm gonna have to call it an episode right here, and then we will explore the gelatonium plant or whatever in the next episode. So I want to thank you guys again for watching and listening to me struggle to to organize my thoughts here and discuss on something that's completely unrelated to the game I'm playing. But yeah, thank you for watching. I've been Decepticon Rampage, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye!